Hi there. So my name is Cameron Collier and I am a recovering addict. I have been to 16 rehabs and one long-term rehab, and I am starting my YouTube channel to help the addict that suffers. So I recently qualified as an RA, which is a recovery assistant, and I am an addiction counselor as well. Um, so I was addicted to alcohol, benzodiazepines. I'll get onto how I got onto benzodiazepines, and then gambling. So I was pretty chronic alcoholic, drinking from when I woke up in the morning till I went to sleep at night. And I was very lonely, so I decided to gamble a bit, you know, and I struck big in my first week of gambling. So I was hooked. As the addict mind, you just want more and more and more. So I would drink and I would gamble. Then eventually I had spent many times in hospital, many times, and was time to go to rehab. So I went to my first rehab, and my first lecture, they told me that 2% of you addicts will succeed and be fully recovered. They told me 98% of you aren't. Well, those are the statistics. And after going through all these rehabs, because I constantly was relapsing, because I just couldn't get it. And I hit rock bottom, and that I'll get into in later part of my YouTube channel. But I'm here today just to be brutally honest and explain more about addiction and how it affects not only us but also family members and your spouse and girlfriends, or boyfriends, etc. You know. So as you might not know this, but addiction is hereditary. So yeah, a couple of my grandparents were alcoholics, and yeah, so I'm 30 years old now, and yeah, I struggled for a good 5 years of many rehabs, many addictions. Yeah, so I want to tell you something how I got onto benzodiazepines. So this is about going to rehab. I didn't know a single thing about benzodiazepines. So I went to my first rehab and I denied all medication because I didn't want it. And I was fine. Got out. There was something tragic that happened 4 days before I came out. I had a family member pass away, and I was left in rehab and for those last 4 days. And as soon as I got out, I went to a funeral and relapsed to numb what was going on. as we all do as addicts. We like to numb ourselves or escape through the drug of choice, or DOC. But I just want to tell you something about rehab. So when I went back for the second time, I was very close to having a seizure, and which is a common withdrawal sign of alcohol withdrawal. So to get through that, they give you benzodiazepine packs, which is the generic of Valium. So they will even give you packs of Valium. Okay, and a lot of people don't know, but benzodiazepine is basically alcohol in a pill. And what I'm here to say is that the rehabs are giving another addictive substance to an addict. Okay, so it was my first time taking a benzodiazepines, and it's like it's a tranquilizer, so it completely relaxes you, and you feel no anxiety, and yeah, you're very relaxed. But the thing is that I liked it so much is that when I went out, I started getting benzodiazepines off the street, such as alprazolam, which is very strong, and Xanax. And I started using that, and then I was drinking. Then I kept going back to rehab, and then I ended up in hospital a few times, coming close to a seizure, getting rushed by my father to the hospital. And yeah, so it was very scary, and I've been on a lot of trips. And then again in the hospital, they pump you with Valium to calm you from having a seizure. So yeah, basically it was very hard coming off the benzos after using the alcohol. So the alcohol stays in your system for about 72 hours, and then it's out. But the benzodiazepines can last in your system for 8 to 10 weeks after using benzodiazepines. And the thing is that what really frustrates me is that these rehabs are giving substances out. Okay, yes, it's necessary for the first few days to come off the benzodiazepines, but a lot of people start to switch their addiction to that, alcoholics mainly, because it gives you the same euphoria as being drunk, like very relaxed depressant. Yeah, and then I completely stopped gambling because the house wins. Yeah, I should have listened to my brother because he works for a gambling company. He always told me the house always wins, don't go gamble. I didn't listen to him. Yeah, but anyway, I got to a point where I was very, very skinny, and I just thought, this is it, like I can't take any more. And I ended up in jail for one night, which then made me realize, like, what are you doing with your life? It was for a disturbing piece, because I got quite violent in the place that I was staying at. But that's what alcohol can do. It can switch your personality completely, the amount that I was drinking. And yeah, I was in this hospital, and this nurse told me that no psychiatrist, no psychologist, no doctor, no therapist can help you with addiction but yourself and your mind. So this is the thing, is that you have to somehow work it in your mind that you can overcome this addiction. I tell you, I've seen many psychiatrists, many doctors, everything like that. Yes, it is important to see a psychiatrist for certain issues where you need help with maybe anxiety, depression, bipolar, so and so, and yeah, you do need that. And my first couple of months to a year, I was on medication for anxiety and everything like that, and really did help, because of the side effects that I'd caused damage to my body through alcohol and the benzodiazepines. Obviously, gambling has no effects on the body. It's just your decision not to go gamble. But yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself. This is my first video, and I'm going to be helping on YouTube to the addict that still suffers. And in part 2, I'll get much deeper into DBT and all the skills about recovery and how to assess situations and triggers and all the things that could lead to a relapse. But anyway, I just want to say, one day at a time. Thank you.